Hello and welcome to Benjamin Zulu Show. It is always pleasure having you on board. And this show is specifically dedicated to all people living in up country. But that does not mean that if you're living in the city that you not benefit from it. But specifically, we want to speak to the people living in up country. And we are asking, how do you handle breakup in up country? Imagine you're living in up country. You have grown up there. There are people who have seen you since you were a young boy. And you know, in up country, people minds each other's business. And so when such a scenario comes your way, how do you handle that? And that is why we are here with Coach himself to help us understand and know how we should handle such cases when they arise. Yes, sir.
Hey, and you know, the difference between city and the rural life is how long you have been around each other. When you come to the city, by that time you have grown up maybe, and by the time you are renting here, renting there, a neighbor may see you, but they really don't know. And you can easily move to the next one.
Yeah.
And even when you get to build your place, you're coming there when you're established. It's not in the city, really, boundaries are more clear and people have more space to live their life without having to explain. Even when you're going to church and you have social groups, they may know generally, Willie stays that side, that house there, but they may not come that close to know what is happening between him and what is going on.
Yeah.
There's a freedom we have in the city we take for granted. You need to look at a country life, which is what I want to show us to know.
Yeah.
Because in a country, all the things that pertain community and social fiber and living as a team, as a group, they're very strongly present.
Yeah.
And they're not always bad. You're not saying they're always bad. It's to say that there's a good side and a bad side. The circle at home work better. The funeral groups work better.
Yeah.
The merry-go-rounds work better. In fact, they don't need to do too much head count. By just checking, they can tell who is not here.
Yeah.
True. They can tell who did not contribute as last time.
Yes.
They keep record of how you participate in social events. And they know whether you are integrated or you're separated.
Yes.
If you keep yourself segregated, they keep a record. So at home, the social fiber is strong. Why? Because the homes are more distant, so people are fewer in an area. You may find that in a square kilometer in Nairobi, in a city is millions of people.
Yeah.
There in a square kilometer,
100 people.
So they generally know who was the auntie to who is the ancestor, who share grandfather.
Yes. Seems like everyone is related with each other.
Even the greetings have meaning. There, you greet a certain person differently.
Yes.
Because of their clan.
Yeah.
Versus where you greet this one.
Yeah.
So the social fiber is stronger there and it has its place. It has its own importance. We're not here to say you should remove yourself, you should not have anybody. No. There's a place for social connectedness. And you remember your parents would teach you the greeting according to clans.
Yeah.
And you keep forgetting. You and your age mate in school. You're greeting each other the modern greetings.
Yeah.
And your dad is reminding you, see, him and your dad are supposed to be. So the right greeting
is this.
And you forget.
Yeah.
You meet in university and you don't even remember the clan business.
Yeah.
So up country, you may find that they keep track of their roots. If you study the Bible books like Chronicles, you find that we have a lot of records. Leviticus, records. So that Jewish culture was also there in African culture, where they would track lineage to know the right way to relate.
Yeah.
They respected blood. They respected origins. They respected roots. That is where we are coming from.
Yeah.
And in a country, it is more because life there is more stable. Here, movements are very fluid. It is dictated by economy. In the city, it's about job. It's about where you're working now. And that's why some people, even when we come here, we should not forget our roots at home.
Yeah.
Because when push comes to shove, sometimes you can only count on those people who have a duty over you. And you're not saying you should always expose yourself to family, but do not discard family. Don't discard your roots, especially if they are not trying to hurt you. Some people are very sick. By just being around them, they make you sick. But if you have a healthy family, or people generally don't try to hurt you, we do not run away and act like you came from a tree. You know, we are saying today that there's a social status, social fiber, there's a social lifestyle at home that you don't find in the city. Now, where that lifestyle becomes a threat to your very existence is when a social change has happened in your life, something as unfortunate as divorce or death. I will not focus on engagement because it's also a very salty thing to endure at home. If a wedding had been announced and people were warming up for it,
and then something,
and then that will be fodder for gossip, fodder for people to snoop into your life. People remember who danced in whose wedding. People remember which one was more attended. People have records of 10 years ago.
We came to your wedding and we ate this.
This is the child we did baby shower for. Right now at home we can go and a woman will say, this Willie, she's the one who received. We are here seeing an other and the show host. And there's a
go back to the village and
the records they have of Willie. Oh my God. And then, so you're just forced to humble. So the first thing you need to know is that at home, privacy is very small. Even when you are not a talking person who always exposes your issues, that closeness, that too much connectedness sometimes has no limits. And people, even when you meet, the questions they ask you are very uncomfortable. They get into your personal space immediately. Even here in the city, you have noticed, if you meet people from the village, the questions they ask are very annoying.
Did you get married?
Where are you staying? How are you? What is your job? They go to so quickly. Did you get married? Did you have another child?
And what are you waiting for?
Imagine. You feel attacked. Every time, and you know them because of the name they call you. They don't call you Willie. They go to the name
they used to call me those years. They don't understand that I'm grown. I'm grown.
So, the first problem is that the news will spread that you have broken up. And the second problem is that the people who participated feel like they are shareholders. The ones who are the best couple, or people who contributed in the pre-wedding, or they were the MC, or they kept vigil. You know, some people keep vigil on the eve of the wedding. They kept vigil with you. Some people feel like they're entitled for updates because they helped to build this house. And if there is anything, they will jump in to dig in and ask questions. The second problem, which is the biggest, in my view, I've tried to help people deal with these situations, and I can tell you the truth. The very fact that your existence is tied to your compound, to your home, to your house, to where you are built. In fact, that house is Kinyanjui's. That house, that's Willie, And even mothers count their children by their houses. So that's Willie, this one is the younger one, James, and now this one is the one who is in Uganda, and this one is, when they talk, they count the homes. And even women there are counted according to homes. In Nyumba, this is a home for, and the other one built there. So you see the parents' pride. It's to count homesteads. So your identity is connected with your homestead, which luckily we don't have in the city. And now, because it's like they label you and the homestead you are in, when you break up and you shift, it's like you walked out on your home. Even transferring job can become scandalous, that you walked out on your home, especially a woman. Women are regarded as keepers of livestock. They're regarded as watchers of the home. Some of the duties that cannot virtuous woman, the right kind of woman, involve staying at home. And they read you Proverbs from the Jewish culture that she keeps her home. But the one who is scattered, now she's in that corner, now she's in that corner. They misinterpret context. When the Bible was trying to talk about behavior and discipline and sexual purity, then they mean physically staying at home. So you should not be seen in the market, seen there, or you should look like you just went for errands, you're just staying at home. So it is a different dynamic when you have to change. Now you are no longer together. All right? And many times even those who get widowed may never start another life because there are many traditions, there are really prefects of good conduct of the late spouse. The uncles, the brothers, the who, and they're watching who is coming to that compound. So at home is not until death does us part. It's more than death.
Yes. it is
you stay loyal you go to dead people for as long as you're in the homestead you used to be with them. You are tied there. And you know, the women never used to have money. They were supposed to be dependent on this man. So they used to, when the man dies, the family takes over to take care of that home.
Yeah.
So that's why they felt a need for you to maintain their rules, the family rules, because you're being maintained by them. Days have moved on. People are no longer being carried on the back. People have capabilities.
Yeah.
Women have jobs. But nothing has changed at home. They're still behaving as if you're independent. Yes. And that's why we are discussing it today. The third problem that you will struggle with is when it comes to church. Now, if you move from one church to another one at home, it's a scandal.
What did he do?
Yes.
Yes.
And news spread.
Yes.
And people talk. The one problem there you have is many people are idle, even when they are a shopkeeper. They become like a local radio.
Yeah.
To update.
What?
You know? There before we never used to have radios, they were not common. So when there was a clan meeting or chief's baraza, it was the village man going around and announcing.
Yes.
The elder was going around the dropping news that we are meeting on such and such a day. So that culture of word of mouth was rampant. And this one has passed by here and dropped this report. This one, if you read stories of those years, like the river in the source, the river between, you read Chinua Achebe, the writers of just the other decade, a few decades back, this century that I just closed, you will see the rampantness of the upcountry culture. Cities had not really budded in Africa.
Yeah.
Now they have budded, and there's a whole new space that people are tripping over the issues, and they don't understand what has changed because the parent who is telling you how to behave is coming from an era when there was no alternative.
Yeah.
You are existing in an era when there's an alternative.
Yes.
You know, when you did not have options, and now you have options. And they can tie you. I saw people who tied a horse on a plastic chair. And they said sometimes the things that are holding you are not physical, they're mental. This horse is being too obedient to a very flimsy obstacle.
Yeah.
You know? And it has been taught to cooperate. Some people have been tied to plastic chairs. And like the horse, they've been taught they're strong enough to carry it away. But it's compliance that is keeping you there. It is a wish of the owner to keep you there. So you just maintain the wish to comply, to cooperate. The third problem is spirituality. Church is not just spiritual there, it's social.
It's social.
It's community. Church there contains circle, contains friends, contains status, contains everything. You know, here you go, you're trying to look at how you're growing spiritually.
Yeah.
You may make your contribution to the church and give your givings, but sometimes it's not that emotional and mingled up. Anyway, you're busy with a job.
Yes.
Here, many people have an economic life going on.
Yes.
Up country, some people don't have another life really. Even when they don't have a place they go on weekend. You know, here city people, you travel a lot.
Yeah.
There's no traveling. They
On
only
Sunday,
break.
You go for one service and you're busy.
You
Even
know.
on Sundays.
You know,
Yeah.
up there, weekend, the only break is the church now and the market day. So you have the market and the church.
Yeah.
So church there is also social. If you happen to experience a divorce or breakup or death, and now you are single and you want to change your life, you will have to reckon with the church. And it's not about spirituality. Does not end there. That is your relationship with God you're building, you're in a community of other Christians, you're assisting each other. No. You are a chairlady somewhere. You're a chairman somewhere. You're a leader of worship somewhere. You're an assistant pastor someplace.
Yeah.
and you are mentor of this and the other, leader of this group.
Yes.
Every role you are playing in church becomes social. You thought it was going to stop at the spiritual. Here in Nairobi, you hear people being announced that they are marrying and they have to be displayed for us to know who are those.
Yeah.
At home, there is no display needed.
Yes.
People bring enough display of mouth. What is the solution of giving you three major problems? That people know you, they participated in your life, the whole village knows you by your great grandmother's name.
Yeah.
And some even don't know your name. They keep calling you the son of.
Yeah.
Because it's your dad who was really their colleague, not you. So they keep
they call you by your
or
son.
they confuse you with the big older brother, and you never bother correcting them because they can't even differentiate.
Actually, when I go to upcountry, a big number of people they call me my brother's name.
So you don't bother correcting every time because you look the same to them.
Yes.
The last time they saw all of you, you are tiny people.
Yeah.
Oh, you are fat. What are you eating?
You have white hair.
And if you are named after their husband, they start calling you the husband.
Yes.
This space, kind of space is this. You know, they call you the nickname of the one you are named after. The nickname of.
Yes.
So their names only you know they are referring to you.
Yes.
So that's the first problem. They know you and your roots and your origin, and they can draw your genogram. They even educate you.
Yes.
About the behavior of your grandma. So some people know you that too much, and they can silence you by age only, by knowledge of your history only.
Yes.
They can silence you. And that should warn you if you're marrying and in upcountry. Just a footnote. When you introduce your lady to that community, you must be careful what she's being fed and educate her and then insulate her. Prepare her what she might expect. Because she can be poisoned to things by very authoritative people. A very senior uncle who tells her damaging information about this Willie.
Yeah.
This boy you are calling Willie. The one I took for circumcision. You know? When somebody comes from that angle, surely, can you imagine? My friend, you are finished. So, with so much of and you can't answer them. You know, when they talk, and you must sit there and listen.
Yes.
You can't counter entry. This is parent. Respect parents.
Yeah.
The second problem is that your identity and your homestead are intertwined. Walking out of marriage means walking out of a homestead, and it shows you're useless walking out of your home. Even your mother is blamed. What kind of daughters did she raise? Shame. You know, and there may be sittings for disciplinary hearing. You know, and the third problem is spiritual and social are intertwined. If you have to move away from church, there will be scandal. Another one there. Separate scandal. But because the positions you held, the places you were, people who sponsored your marriage, and some people, it's like they took you as their child. When you're getting married, they became your mentors.
Very own.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like your marriage then is their project. Why are you failing their project? They are very interested. And they come there with authority and concern. And the solution is as follows, Willie. Listen. If you do not own the direction for your life, if you do not take back, all what I've described is an unfortunate setting that takes away control of your life from you. If you do not immediately switch your mind that my life is my own, these people will keep your life small and you will die of stress and you'll be buried. And the world usually never know that you died because of social stress, by how people fixed you in wrong places.
Because you stop living your life.
Yes.
And now you're living a shadow life.
In fact, many people today are walking in shadows. It's the position society fixed them. And remember, men have more room to roam. If it is the woman who is being hurt, she's even more desperate. Because remember, women were not allowed to go anywhere else. I told my followers the other day that stop saying that this woman went back to their home. Women should not go back to their home. Even when marriage does not work, you should go away to your own life. You should have a life. And that's why we said, don't come from your parents' home to your husband's house. Go to your own house first. Learn to live. Build a life. Set standards. Manage a home.
Yeah.
See the world. unveil yourself. There should be a year, 2, 3, 4, minimum of 5 years that you are not under anybody's roof except your own. Don't marry before you've been alone for 5 years. You'll have skipped individuation and you'll pay for it. Really, there are some truths, if you don't know them, you live to pay the cost. There are some truths, if you don't know them, you live to pay the cost.
Yeah.
And when we said that, some men are coming, now you are destroying these women. Do you want them to start giving birth? If they start living alone, they never get married. Where is that man coming from? Are women animals?
No.
That you're trying to make them to reproduce and produce milk?
No.
Aren't women individuals like us?
Yeah.
Aren't they people?
Yeah.
Must they get married?
Yes.
What does she want? She wants happiness, not marriage. Listen, there's nowhere written in the Bible that a woman must get married. Paul was not married. And I asked you, if Paul was not married, why are we forcing Pauline
To
get married? It's okay not to get married. I want to give women the freedom.
Actually, Paul says, if it is possible.
Don't marry.
Yes. If it is possible.
Listen to me. You do not think, and I realize there are men who are still living back then, when the women needed to be kept down there where they can be controlled and used. Release your daughter and tell her to value happiness above status, to value her mental health, and to be contented in this life. To only marry when the marriage is happy, adding to her happiness, actualization, individuation, purpose of life. The marriage should be an addition, not a destruction.
It should be an addition.
Yes. If the marriage is taking away from you and not adding to you, it is not
Don't
one.
deserve
Even
it.
God will not ask you to stay there. That's how we lost mighty singers like people like Osinachi, feeding them with things that you must stay there. A woman stays, a woman prays, a woman believes, a woman perseveres, a woman.
And God said divorce.
Does he love injustice? Does God love abuse?
No.
Does God love cheating, deception?
No.
They emphasize what he hates. Only the divorce. And they make it look like if you stay, you're pleasing God. They make God look like a monster. Would God want you to stay where you're being beaten, cheated, harassed, shortchanged, lied to? I came in and had an agreement. We agreed we are coming here to be faithful to each other. You're no longer faithful. The Bible itself says when there's fidelity, walk out. Some people don't cheat, but the way they treat you, they'll kill you. It's not the cheating, it's the treating badly. When you understand the spirit of Scripture, you don't need to express verses. You understand the nature of God. David was a man after God's own heart. You will hear God saying things about himself. I hate false measures. People measure falsely against others. The society has imposed on women as if it is them to maintain marriage. And I asked you, logically speaking, if the man was being allowed to marry two women, why wasn't the woman being allowed to marry two men? It is male dominance. It is unfair balances.
Yeah.
It is unfair balances. They were making the woman think that she was only born to serve men. It's not true. Deborah rose and fought a war in Israel and saved our whole country. Listen, the first solution is to give yourself freedom to self-determine. That's solution number one. To self-determine is to direct your life as and when fit. Begin by mental liberation. You have uncles, you have aunties. Sometimes other people, some communities like the Mbere and Embu don't even say uncle. They say Baba Mdogo, the other dad.
Yeah. Baba Mkubwa.
And the order of your dad is Baba Mkubwa. Can you imagine? What degree? It was meant for respect.
Yeah.
But how many authorities then do you have? How many authorities do you have? If all those was our fathers, the direct one is your father, but the older brother to your father is the bigger dad. The younger brother to your father is the younger dad. How many dads do you have, bro?
Isn't that slavery? Kinda.
It was meant for respect, but I tell you the truth, it keeps you in a place where you have so many watchdogs having a say over your life that you may never be free. And I'm not saying stop calling them the titles. I'll give you the solution. So solution number one, give yourself the freedom to self-determine. Seize back your mental freedom. Think above the clouds. Rise. Sometimes you need to physically go to an elevated place. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Go to an elevated place, a hill or first floor of a house. Every now and then we'll make those psychological exercises. When you are near the dust and the trees, your view is very obscured. Rise above sometimes. In fact, sometimes I want you to just go up there to give yourself the freedom to see far to the horizons and dream far. And remind yourself the way I can breathe something fresh up here, cool air. I can do that with my real life. I can see far, I can venture new horizons. The first thing is seize back the control of your life. The social strata that they maintained, it is theirs. It has its goodness. Don't go to fight it. So the second solution is do not fight, flee.
Do not fight, flee.
Yes. Your instincts will say you should react, should talk, should tell, give them a piece of your mind. You should assert your boundaries. You should tell them off. Your instincts will be wanting to tell people off. And some people have tried direct rebellion, but they were labeled as crazy and they were forgotten. That's not what you want. Don't fight. That group is too big. You can't win against a whole church, a whole community, a whole group of uncles and aunties, a whole group of elders. You can't win.
True.
Don't even try it. Don't launch that direction. Don't. Really, don't even try it. You won't win. You will get tired and die. What is the point? Flee. How do you flee? Migrate. Migrate. Just migrate. The lucky thing is these people are also so enclosed. They may not follow you if you just move by 50 kilometers. They will not even know. They will not have details what happened with your life. You don't need to go to Uganda. These people, just the way they are here, they are just here.
Yes.
You can just move to the other side of the hill. Rent somewhere there, buy a small land there, build a new house. Now go to a new church, introduce yourself afresh, start another life, marry again or do whatever. And when you say you migrate, does not mean you abandon your 50 years of investment. You can maintain this home as yours. For most of it was bereavement. If your partner died and you had a home here and a farm and things, keep a worker there and say you got a job another side of town and go build another home there. Now there you can marry, there you can do your things. Here you visit occasionally and they're happy to see you, especially if you're coming looking like you're well to do. You can give them a tip.
Yes.
These people are very easy to manage.
Yeah.
Even if gossip comes here and there, they don't have you in their sight to talk to you. They don't even know what you stand for. They can't see you. Migrate. Don't fight. Flee.
Don't fight.
Yes, don't even put up. Don't explain to that couple. Don't explain to that uncle. Don't attend those sittings of the disciplinary. Don't join that shenanigans.
Won't they call you rebellious?
It's okay now. You see, you are far away. It doesn't affect your reputation or anything. Nobody's there to tell you what is being said.
Yeah.
Mind your life. The moment it is not working anymore, migrate. The last solution is to recreate. Do not try to repair. Do not try to continue from where you left to the previous marriage. Do not try to just build up and survive and manage the rest of my life. Start again.
Start again.
When you migrate and you go there, recreate yourself afresh. The West people are very fond of that. It's something that they have really internalized. They can start afresh and they have another life. There's a woman who started afresh called Abigail. She had a husband who died and she started afresh with a new husband called David. It's in the Bible, but they don't preach it. That there's a woman who actually in her lifetime was married twice because it's not very preachable according to the narrative they wanted to sell to women.
Yes.
But it is open like this. She was married to Nabal, who was a fool, he died. And she did not try to kill him. She actually defended him.
Yeah.
There's a guy who wanted to kill him and she went, please don't touch him. He's just foolish. Just have mercy on him.
Yes.
And over time he died, and that guy who had been impressed by this woman, learning now she's a widow, married him.
Yeah.
Recreate your life afresh. Do not try to say I'm a survivor. Don't even call yourself a widower or widow or divorcee. You're just Willie. You're just Maggie.
Yeah.
Rebrand yourself afresh. Start another career line. Start another lifestyle. Now raise your children if there were children in a fresh manner. Start another life that now you can do other careers. Live in a new neighborhood. In summary, to survive breakup or end of marriage in upcountry, you need, number one, to give yourself the mental freedom, to stop asking for opinion polls, what uncle thinks, what auntie thinks, what sister thinks. You can never win that direction. Give yourself the freedom to self-determine. Number two, do not fight, rather flee. Go to a different place. Don't over-explain, just disappear, fizzle out. The easiest way is to transfer your job. So they think it's your job that transferred you. It's a new business you got. And when you went there, you put up a new home. Start another life there. Don't hire even house helps from that community. Get house helps from another community. Get shamba boys from another community. Don't drag anybody there. And lastly, do not try to continue what's going on in your life. Start another one. Get new friends, get new church, get new lifestyle. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
That was well put, and we thank God for that. So our viewers, what is your take home? You can start all over again. Remember, this is your life. It is your life. So your life does not have to be dictated by other people. You are the driver of your own life. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.